This week on Charismatic TV, the Civil Rights Movement, Caller ID, Open Heart Surgery. What do all these things have in common? The great minds and dedication of Black contributors. I'll listen more in a moment, so stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Charismatic TV, where I encourage you to submerge yourself in culture and live meaningful lives. And yes, we are celebrating Black History Month. All month long, we'll be focusing on the contribution of Black folks to Black culture and to the rest of the world. And what a fitting theme for this year. The future is now. Today, I want to highlight the contributions and achievements of my forefathers despite the obstacles that they faced, starting with Black inventors. If your car engine ain't failing or overheating on you, then you have Canadian inventor Elijah McCoy to thank for that. He was a mechanical engineer and he identified and solved problems of engine lubrication and overheating. In 1872, he invented an automatic lubricator for steam engines and obtained his first patent. Unfortunately, due to the lack of funds, he could not properly capitalize from the manufacturing of his lubricators, and so he sold the patent rights to his employer and his investors. Aww. I know, really sad. Hashtag invest in Black innovation. All hope wasn't lost for Elijah, however, as he moved on to become a consultant to the railroad industry, specifically on patent matters. And in 1920, he established the Elijah McCoy Manufacturing Company and manufactured lubricators with the official McCoy name. Go Elijah, go Elijah, go Elijah, go Elijah. Hey babe, I'm recording right now. We can talk later? Alright then. Later. Sorry about that. If you're able to see who's calling so that you can choose to accept or decline, don't judge me, we all do it. Then you have Dr. Shirley Jackson to thank for that. She is the one responsible for the caller ID. Dr. Shirley Jackson was an American physicist who was the first Black woman to earn a doctorate from MIT and also the first female president of a major technological institute. Thanks sis, you're a real one. Oh, what's going? JPS, is that you? Although Thomas Edison created the light bulb, his version was both inaccessible and expensive. Louis Howard Latimer made the light bulb better and more accessible. Do you live in Toronto? Tired of the closet-sized apartments that can barely hold your furniture? Well, introducing space-saving furnitures. Sarah Good, who was born in slavery, moved to Chicago after the Civil War. And there she met her husband and they opened a furniture store together. Back in the 1880s, however, a lot of Black families lived in very small houses and apartments, and they didn't really have that many furnitures. Sarah saw the need for space-saving furniture and came up with the innovative idea of the cabinet bed, which is a bed that can fold into a desk. So yes, this is old news. We've been doing this long time, okay?
This segment was brought to you by Toronto Black-Owned Market, the online market that offers you online shopping for products and services within the GTA from the comfort of your home. Visit their website at www.torontoblackhomemarket.ca and look out for their upcoming vendor event happening all month long. If you like the shirt I'm wearing, then you'll enjoy more products from Yeah Africa Kollexxions, where they offer African-inspired mugs, sweaters, and so much more. Visit their website at www.yeahafrica.ca. Now back to our program.
You've heard of famous activists and leaders like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela. But there are so many unsung heroes, especially women, that we never really hear much about. This was definitely not an easy list to put together, so please feel free to comment below some of the heroes that you can identify from your country. Now, it's important that when we share these stories that we ensure that there is also representation. And so I ensured that I included Afro-Latinx women as well. Starting with Maria Elena Moyano, who was born in Peru. She took the risk of being a social activist during one of the most violent years in Peru's modern history. I'm gonna be honest, I can't pronounce the name of this group here that she led, but she led this group here, which was a group of courageous women who created projects to generate income for families, provide food to children, and improve basic education. She was known as the Mother of Courage. Unfortunately, she was assassinated in February of 1992 for her activism. Zulia Mena from Colombia. Mena has been recognized throughout Colombia as a respected activist turned politician. In 1994, she was elected as the nation's first Afro-Colombian congresswoman, serving a time of 4 years. Before she was elected to Congress, Mena had been very vocal about the difficulty to pass the nation's Law 70, which mandates nationwide acknowledgement of the existence of Afro-Colombian communities and grants them the right to live on the lands their ancestors have lived on for centuries. Sounds familiar? If you're someone of African descent currently living in Canada and you're able to proudly celebrate Black History Month, then special thanks goes to the Honorable Jean Augustine. She has definitely made a name for herself by being the first African Canadian woman to be elected to the House of Commons, the first African Canadian woman to be appointed to the federal cabinet, and the first Fairness Commissioner of the Government of Ontario. Originally born in Grenada, she migrated to Canada in 1960, furthered her studies, and was active in grassroots organizations in speaking up for minority and women's rights. She entered politics in 1993, and in 1995, she proposed a motion before Parliament to recognize February as Black History Month in Canada, which passed unanimously. Some heroes fight for the earth so we can thrive on the earth. Wangari Maathai was one such person. She was a Kenyan social, environmental, and political activist and the first African woman to win a Nobel Prize. She is internationally recognized for her persistent struggle for democracy, human rights, and environmental conservation.
Initially, the work was difficult because historically our people have been persuaded to believe that because they are poor, they lack not only capital, but also knowledge and skills to address their challenges. Instead, they are conditioned to believe that their solutions to their problems must come from outside.
In 2002, she was elected into Parliament with 98% of the votes. That's a lot. She was appointed by the President as Assistant Minister for Environment, Natural Resources and Wildlife in Kenya's 9th Parliament. There are many people who crawled so that we could run and fly. Is that a cheesy line? It sounds cheesy. We're going with it though. One such person is the late Dr. Louise Bennett Coverley. She was a Jamaican poet, activist, and cultural icon. She's known for her contribution to Jamaica in being a true advocate for the dialect of Patois. She used Patois in a lot of her work, which gave all Jamaicans permission to accept and embrace it as their national identity and culture.
It means to say, John, that grew up on my mentality. And I'll true ya, long time, girl, me never see you. It is a long time.
Oliver Samuels, known to Jamaica as the King of Comedy, is known for his contribution to Jamaica through his performances in stand-up and comedic theater. He's a legend and inspiration to many Jamaican and Caribbean comedians. His breakthrough came with the appearance in the pantomime Music Boy.
For context, a pantomime is a theatrical entertainment mainly for children that involves music, topical jokes, and slapstick comedy, and is based on a fairy tale or nursery story usually produced around Christmas.
A variety of opportunities followed for him, and he quickly became a household name through the popular TV series Oliver at Large. Listen, if you grew up in a Caribbean household, you must have seen at least one episode of Oliver at Large. If you haven't as yet, YouTube, they're all right there. You're welcome. Can I wink? Maria P. Williams. Thanks to the early accomplishments of Williams as the first black woman to produce, write, and act in her own movie in 1923, whoa, The Flames of Wrath, we have female directors and producers like Oprah and Ava DuVernay. Is that how I say her name? And Shonda Rhimes. Have you ever seen the movie Little, featuring Issa Rae, Regina King, and Marsai Martin? Well, believe it or not, Marsai was actually an executive producer on that movie, and she actually pitched that movie to them, I believe, when she was about 10 years old. Don't believe me? Insert the clip.
Well, of course, for me was being a kid and doing big things, you know? You're only 14, like you can't do this, you can't do that, because I actually was 10 when I pitched Little. So a lot of people didn't believe me, but of course when I worked with people who actually did and they trusted in me and my family, it all worked out really well. Look where we are now. So
Marsai to date is the youngest executive producer on a major studio production. We gotta give it up for a sis out there doing her thing, but she's definitely an inspiration to me. And I thought it was just fitting to end on this note. The truth of the matter is, there are a lot more unsung heroes out there. Some of them, their stories have never been told. You might have your own unsung heroes in your own homes, or they have passed away. For me, my unsung hero is my late grandmother, who passed away early this year. She was the final grandparent and probably the only one I really got to know. Even though she doesn't have any books or articles written about her, I will definitely pass on her legacy through my actions, because she passed down through my mother to always be kind to people, always be loving. She was a mother to everybody, especially in the era of Vibu. Madam Ba, your legacy would definitely live on. You have taught me so much, you have no idea. And I just hope I can continue to make you proud as you watch down on me. Comment below, give tribute if you have any unsung heroes that you would like to shout out. Maybe they were not mentioned on this list, but you would like me to know about them or the rest of us. Feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Again, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and watch out for more episodes exactly like this. Again, for the entire month of February, we're going to be celebrating Black contribution and achievement. Don't forget to do road and do things. And until next time, Maggie is out.